strangers. Believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf.
We are now at Marques de Pombal. We can see his statue here, built in 1934, overlooking Lisbon and the River Tejo further down. Sebastião José de Carvalho e Melo, Marquis of Pombal and Count of Amoreiras, was a Portuguese nobleman, diplomat and statesman. He was Secretary of State of the Kingdom during the reign of Dom José I, being considered today still one of the most controversial and charismatic figures in Portuguese history. During the reign of Dom João V, he was ambassador in the courts of the Kingdom of Great Britain in London, England, and the Holy Roman Empire in Vienna, Archducate of Austria. He actually ended slavery in mainland Portugal on February 12, 1761, and he was the main figure after the huge earthquake of 1755 that destroyed the downtown of Lisbon, a challenge that gave him the historic role, the city's architectural renovator. We are climbing yet another hill, this time heading to Amoreiras, one of the first commercial zones of the country. In fact, Amoreiras is a complex of office and housing with daring architecture for the time in Lisbon, designed by the architect Tomás Taveira and built in the 1980s. It was inaugurated in September 27, 1985 and is located at Avenida Engenheiro Duarte Pacheco, here in Campo de Ourique. It has a terrace on top of the tower named Amoreiras Panoramic 360 View with an amazing view over Lisbon and its surroundings. The Amoreiras Shopping Center that we can see here to our right is part of it and is on the lower levels of these towers. It was the first large commercial and service area in the urban area of Portugal and, at the time, the largest commercial space in the country and the fourth largest in Europe. The impact it had on economical, social and cultural life of the city was only compared to the development of the eastern part of Lisbon many years later during the Expo 98, the World Exposition, whose theme was the oceans, a heritage for the future. It was held in Lisbon from May 22 to September 30, 1998. It had the purpose of commemorating the 500 years of the Portuguese discoveries. We are now in Campo de Ourique. It is a parish in a way located in the heart of the city of Lisbon, between Amoreiras, Estrela and Prazeres. It is a residential neighborhood, but with a strong and old vocation for commerce. Campo de Ourique has a life of its own. It looks like a small town within Greater Lisbon. It is often referred to as the most peaceful neighborhood in the city of Lisbon and one with the best living conditions, differentiating itself from other urban areas that rely excessively on shopping centers. Of course, we are crossing it directly, trying to escape the car traffic jam on our way, once more going down to the riverside area of the city. One of the negative points of this area is that it's always full of cars. It's kind of paradoxical, the peaceful feeling of the area with a never-ending spam of vehicles. I usually have dinner or a drink on Mercado de Campo de Ourique, that is an old food market now transformed into a nice open-area restaurant with a lot of healthy options and with a nice social presence. To our left here is Jardim da Estrela garden, one of the nicest gardens in Lisbon. It was built in the 19th century by order of the kings. It is a public garden located here in the parish of Estrela, with one of its entrance in front of the Basílica da Estrela. Jardim da Estrela was built in the style of English gardens of romantic inspiration. It has 4.6 hectares and is open to the public every day. One of the central points of the garden is the green wrought iron cureto, or bystand in English, where musicians play in the summer months. The Basílica da Estrela, or Royal Basilica and Convent of Santíssimo Coração de Jesus, is a Catholic temple and former convent of Carmelite nuns located here in Lisbon. This vast church, topped by a dome, rises on top of a hill in the west part of the city, being one of the landmarks of the area with the same name. In the second half of the 18th century, the Queen Dom Maria I and Dom Pedro III, daughter and brother-in-law of Dom José I, vowed that they would build a church if they had a son to inherit the throne. Their wish was fulfilled and the construction of the temple started in 1779. Unfortunately, however, the boy, baptized as Dom José, died of smallpox 2 years before the construction was completed.
É só carros, pá, poça!
And let's continuing down the Avenida Infante Santo, back to the riverside of Lisbon. We are now back to the riverside area of Lisbon. Just ahead of us, alongside of the river, are a few notable monuments like the Padrão dos Descobrimentos. The monument to the discoveries, or monument to the navigators, is located in Belém, in a prominent position on the right bank of the Tagus River. The original monument, in perishable materials, was erected in 1940. The current replica in concrete and stone was later constructed, having been inaugurated in 1960. Dom Henrique the Navigator stands at the bow with a caravel in his right hand and a map on his left. In the two descending rows on each side of the monument are the statues of noble Portuguese people linked to the discoveries, including navigators like Vasco da Gama, discoverer of the maritime route to India, Pedro Álvares Cabral, discoverer of Brazil, Fernão de Magalhães, the first to circumnavigate the globe, Bartolomeu Dias, the first to cross the Good Hope Cape, but also notables, warriors, friars, scientists and even men of culture like Camões, holding the epic poem Os Lusíadas. Another monument is Torre de Belém, officially known as Tower of São Vicente, and constructed in 1514 to 1520. It is a fortification located also in the parish of Belém, not far downstream from Padrão dos Descobrimentos. It stands where the beach of Belém once existed. It was originally surrounded by the waters throughout its perimeter until the beach sank and enveloped it, and today it stands on a small bay. So it's time for a nice coffee with the boys. I hope you enjoyed this little ride around Lisbon. I loved it, especially with the company of Mr. Mota. So thanks a lot for coming with us and see you next time.
Os homens do quê?
Os homens dos parking.
Ah,
Moedinhas.
por acaso agora há menos.
Toma.
Eu nem sei, oh caraça.
Já não há tantos.
Não há tantos, não é?
O polícia anda em cima dele. É isso, dá menos siga nisso. Este cafezinho não é mau para parar, porque estamos ao pé das motas.
Yeah.
É isso, olha o ferry. Também andava com ferries, pá. Então vai para a costa, passa por aí.
Olha, já é mais moderno.
Já.
Não é como aquela carroça que andava aí, que até metia água. Temos que tirar uma foto de grupo.